Okay, this is bundle 2 review. It's not too bad. A lot of it's solving equations and inequalities, and then a little bit of slope, point slope, and then the solving equations. Okay, so if we look at number 1, how do we solve for m? Add 19. Okay, the faster you guys answer me, the faster today will go. Okay, we're going to add 19. So it's going to be m equals 4. Okay, your final is all multiple choice, so if you want to, you can go guess, Burton, come up. Okay, that's on you. Okay, look at number 3. What needs done first? Okay, we can add 4. Okay, we can combine first. So you're going to get 8b minus 4 equals negative 4. Okay, and then what? Plus 4, good. So you're going to get 8b equals 0. And then divide by 8. So you're going to get b equals 0. Okay, solve each inequality and graph its solution. So how do I solve for x? Plus 5. Okay, and so we're going to say plus 5 on both sides. And then we're going to get 17. Okay, should that be open or closed? Burton, put that up. Now, what do you find? Closed, yep. Okay, going which way? This says x is what? Less than, so we're going to be going to the left. Okay, 7. What needs done first? Plus 8, good. Okay, so we get 8x, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24. Okay, and then what? Divide by 8. When do you need to flip your sign? When you divide or multiply by a negative. Okay, so in this case, we don't need to flip. Okay, should that 3 be open or closed? Open. Going which way? Right. To the right. Okay, it says x is greater than 3. Okay, number 9, what needs done first? Combine. Okay, so 7 and 5 is going to give me 12. Okay, and then what? Subtract 12. Okay, so on the 5, is that going to be open or closed? Open. Going which way? Right. To the right. Okay, 11. What are those bars called? Brackets. No. Okay, they're called absolute value bars. Okay, this is the one where you really have 2 equations. Okay, we're going to say comma, and we make the other one negative. Okay, if it's the inequalities, you say comma, make it a negative, and flip it. Okay, but these ones are equal, so we're going to say comma. Okay, now how do I solve for n? -3. And you're going to do that to each piece. Okay, so we're gonna get n equals 10 and negative 16. Okay, on all these you should get 2 answers. Is Gibson out here today? No. Jayla is not here. Okay, 13. Okay, see how it has that inequality? Okay, so that means we flip it, so it's going to be going this way, and make it a negative. Okay, but all the steps are still going to be the same. How do I solve for x? Subtract 3. So you're going to subtract 3 from each piece. Okay, so I'm going to get x, and that's going to be 5. And then this one's going to be negative 11. Okay, should they be open or closed? Open. Okay, and then take a second to read it. Should they be pointed in or out? Okay, this says x is what? Smaller than 5. So which way is that? That's to the left. So that means they're both going to be pointed in. This Henning. Good, how are you? Yes, I did. Yeah. You need to go down the office. Okay, 15. We're going to flip it and make it a negative 2. Oh man, I was getting ready to write 15. Okay. Now, how do I solve for m? Oh shoot, no, I did this one wrong. Scratch that. Okay, so see how there's nothing outside the bars right here? Same thing here. So you can go ahead and flip it and make it a negative. See how the 6 is not inside the bars? So your first step is going to be to move that 6. That's what I get for not paying attention. Okay, so our first step is going to be times 6 times 6. Okay, so now I got m, that's going to be 12. Okay, now, are the bars all by themselves? Yeah, so we can flip it and make it a negative. Okay, now if there said like m plus 1 in here, then you would say minus 1 on both the pieces, but there's not. Okay, so should those dots be open or closed? Open. Okay, should they be going in or out? In. Okay, this says m is less than 12. Okay, so if one's pointed in, the other one's going to be pointed in as well. If one's pointed out, the other one's going to be pointed out as well. Okay, 30 or 17. Find the slope. How do we find the slope on the graph? Rise over run. Okay, and then pay attention whether it's positive or negative. So how much do we rise? 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3. Okay, is that a positive or negative line? That's a negative. So put the negative somewhere on there, and that's it. Huh? Okay, find the slope of the line through a pair of points. What is the slope formula? Does anyone remember? What is it? y2 minus y1. Okay, good. Okay, so we can label these. Okay, so it's going to look like 0 minus negative 9 over 13 minus 5. Okay, what is that gonna be? Use your calculator. Huh? 9/8? Somebody agree with that? Okay. 9/8. Okay, the next one says find the slope in the y-intercept of the line. Which one's the slope? -1/4. What letter do we use for slope? M. So you're just going to say M equals -1/4. B equals what? -1. Okay, 23, they want you to do the same thing, but they want you to write it in this like equation like this. Okay, so it's going to be y equals, what comes first? -1/5 x, then what? Yeah, or you can say plus -3, it don't matter. Okay, 25, they said write the point slope form. Does anybody remember what's the point slope formula? Y minus y1 so it's going to be equals m x minus x1. Okay, and then we can go ahead and label these. So a point, this we label x1, y1, and this is our m. Okay, so it's going to look like y minus 3 equals 3/2 x minus 4. Okay, 27, they want you to write the point slope form. Okay, again, but what formula do you use for 2 points? The slope. Okay, so we need to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so we're going to say 3 minus -3 over 0 minus 4. -3/2? Somebody else get that? Okay, and then so now we have our slope, but we need to write it in point slope, which is the form that we just did on the other page. Okay, so it's going to look like y minus y1 is -3 equals -3/2 x minus my x1 is 4. Okay, where you're going to see a difference at on your final is what's a minus? It's a positive. So this is not really going to be an option. Okay, but this would be. Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention when there's a minus, that really means a plus. Okay. The final, I don't care as much or as little of work as you want to do because it's multiple choice. Okay, so if there's some that maybe Bug doesn't remember, he needs to go through and guess on those ones. Okay, if you want to guess on the whole test, guess on the whole test. It's your grade. Okay, if you want to do the ones you know how to do the ones you know how to do. Okay, don't be an idiot and try to look on someone else's because there's 4 different versions of the test. Okay, so although Boog's one might be answer choice A, Sebastian's has different numbers, different answer choices. Okay, it might be A, but it might be B, or it might be C, whatever. Okay, so take your time, answer as many questions as you can, and you can show all your work or no work. That's totally up to you. Okay. Solve each by graphing. Okay, so we're gonna graph this first one. Where does this first equation start out at? Starts at 3. What is my slope? 7/3. Okay, and I cannot go up 7, so I'm gonna have to go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 3. And I need a negative line. So here's my first one. Okay, again, your final is multiple choice. So you will not be graphing this. You need to look at the different pictures of the graphs that they give you and pick the right one. Okay, for the second line, we start out at -2. Okay, and I can go up 2 over 3, or I can go down 2 over 3. Okay, so they'll give you a bunch of different pictures of graphs, not a bunch, 4, okay, and then you pick the right one. And we want the intersection point to be what? 3, comma, -4. Okay, so that's the one that is the intersection point. That is our right answer. That's the graph that you would pick, the one that looks like that. Okay, the last two are substitution and elimination. Okay, again, if you wanted to guess because you don't want to do all the work or you don't know how to do the work, guess. Okay, so what's our first thing we need to do? Does anybody remember? Which one am I going to circle? The first one, the one that says y equals, and we're going to plug it in down here into the other equation. So it's going to look like 8x plus 6, and instead of y, what am I writing? -2x plus 5 equals 6. Okay, when we do the practice test, I'm going to show you how to use the answers to not cheat, but for those of you guys that have more street smart skills rather than math skills, which is totally okay, I'm going to show you how to like use multiple choice to help you out without having to do all of the work, okay? But sometimes some of them might be the same. So we got 8x, and you're going to get -12x plus 30 equals 6. Okay, you need to distribute up there. Okay, and then what? Combine. What is 8 and then a -12 going to give you? -4x plus 30 equals 6. Okay, and then what do we need to do? -30. So we get 4x equals -24. And then we're going to divide by -4. So we're going to get x equals 6. Okay, again, this is multiple choice. So go through the answer options and see which one, because we write this as a coordinate. See which one has a 6 in that x spot. If only one of them does, you don't need to go back through and plug it in, okay? If two of them do, then obviously you're going to have to go back through and plug it in. But if only one does, then just focus on that one. Okay, so we would go back through here and plug it in up here, and we got y equals -2, and instead of x, I'm writing 6 plus 5. Okay, what is -2 times 6? -12 plus 5. -7. Okay, and so this is actually our answer. These are the answer choices that you would see. It would be in that coordinate form, okay? Now, what this is saying is, this is my x spot. If I were to plug in x from here, I should get a 7 here. Okay, and so you can kind of not cheat, but use the answer options and plug in the x and y, okay? And 7 should equal 7 when you do all the math out, okay? And that's what that's saying there. Okay, last one is the elimination. Okay, so which ones have the same number and opposite signs? Which one? Y. The y's. So we can eliminate those. Okay, so what is 4 plus -6? -2x. 9 plus negative 9. 0, so they cancel. And then I got negative 14 plus 12. It's going to be negative 2. Okay, and then look at that equation. What do I need to do next? Divide by negative 2. So I'm going to get x equals 1. Okay, and then pick an equation and plug it back into. Which one do you want to use, top or bottom? Bottom. Okay, so I'm going to get negative 6. Wherever there's an x, I'm putting a 1 minus 9y equals 12. Okay, negative 6 times 1 is going to be negative 6 minus 9y equals 12. Okay, and then I'm going to say plus 6, plus 6. So you're at negative 9y equals 18. And then our last step is going to be to divide by negative 9. So we get y equals negative 2. Okay, my coordinate is going to look like 1 comma negative 2. Okay, you guys got about 17 to do. Get them done and then put it in the box back there. Do not leave the other half blank.